Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Adrian Somoza and this is Bond. We're a digital design online academy trying to help designers bridge the gap from following to leading. Today we're going to talk about 10 signs that you're not ready to be a digital art director. Now, I posted 3 of these signs on our Instagram account a while back, and there were a couple of responses, and I was really fascinated with the responses. Most of you got it and you agreed, but there were some people that were a little bit reluctant to what I was saying and a little bit defensive. So that got me thinking that I nailed it. Because when you get a little bit defensive, it's because you're realizing that there's something true about what I'm saying. Now, just a word of caution here. The truth will set you free, but it will probably piss you off first. So let's start and see what happens. But if you feel a little bit defensive or a little bit reluctant to what I'm saying, try to pay attention because there's probably something that is resonating with you. So first sign that you're not ready to be a digital art director. The first sign is that you're learning hard skills rather than soft skills. It's not bad to learn hard skills, but to be an art director and to lead a team, you have to start focusing more on the soft skills. Now, to cure this, one thing that I suggest is try to keep a habit of reading at least one book a month about leadership or business. Okay? This is what I have done for the last 10 years of my career. Sign number 2, you wouldn't recognize the best-selling books on leadership or business. When you're on your career to learn leadership and business, you at least know, and you have a wish list probably of at least, 10 best-selling books that you want to read in the near future. And that's a good sign, but if you don't have that, then I would suggest that you work on that. Try to make a list of the best or most popular books on leadership and business. And I say start with the most popular ones because that's probably where the best quality of content is. Best-selling books don't become best-selling books for no reason, right? Sign number 3, you haven't consumed any content outside of design in the last year. And I'm talking here about being a good art director, right? There's all sorts of art directors, and I've known art directors that were really good on their technical skills, but they were not that good on the soft skills, and they had a lot of struggle. And it's not really pleasant to work with someone that is really good on the hard skills but not on the soft skills, and that is directing you. Take these signs as your north. This is the ideal. Of course, there's all sorts of levels in between, and you might be medium good in soft skills and very good in hard skills, and you can get probably an art director role. Now, sign number 4, you find it funny that someone would study leadership. If you find it funny, it's because you find it probably ridiculous, right? That someone would study leadership. And leadership, just as any other skill, is a skill that you study. If you want to learn anything, you have to study it. And there's a lot of books about that. So to cure this, one of the things that I would suggest is read one of the best sellers about the topic. For example, The 5 Levels of Leadership by John Maxwell. I really recommend that book. It really changed my life and the way I view leadership. Sign number 5. You resent designers who don't have a degree like you and are leading you. Now, the cure for this is to study business, because when you study business, you will realize that in the marketplace, it's much more important to get results than to have a degree. So people won't look at you and consider you for an art director role if you have a degree, but they will consider you if you have the ability to create the results that are needed for the job. So yeah. Sign number 6. You hate following the direction of your leaders because you think you're better. Now, be careful with this. You gotta learn to embrace and run with the vision of others. To be a good leader, first you gotta be a good follower. You might have great ideas, but you first need to be able to follow the ideas of others and support the ideas of others. And if you learn to do this, then you will have a lot of empathy when you're leading others, and you will be able to hear others better and support their ideas and include their ideas in your own direction. But if you're not good at following others' ideas, then you're not going to be very inclusive of others when you're leading them. Sign number 7. You enjoy designing so much that you wouldn't want to leave it for anything. Now, that's so common, and mind you, if you want to be an art director, then you have to learn management stuff. You're not going to be designing all the time. So one tip is start helping your boss with management tasks and take initiatives. If you see something that needs to be organized better and you can do it, then take the initiative and then show it to your boss and say, hey, this is something that I came up with. What do you think? Maybe we can use it for our team. Don't wait for people to give you the role to start helping others in the management side of things. I did that in my career, and that really helped me to be prepared for when the opportunity came to be an art director, or I was a lead designer, which is basically the same. Sign number 8. It's easier for you to design it yourself than to delegate it to younger designers. Now, this is also really common, and the thing is, one of the most important and most valuable skills that you can develop being an art director is the ability to delegate. Now, how do you learn how to delegate? Well, study it. Delegation is a study. And you can study by reading books like the one that I'm showing here from Brian Tracy. This is one book that I will start with, but there's a lot of books that you can read in terms of delegation. But again, study delegation, because it's really important that you can make sure that you do great work, but that your team is going to do great work as well when you delegate it to them. Sign number 9, and we're getting to the end. You aren't used to asking other designers how they are doing with their projects. Now, this is really common, and I really struggled with this, because when you're working as a digital designer, and probably if you're a senior designer right now and you're aiming to be an art director or have a leader position, you probably find that all the time that you have, you need to invest it in work and just sit down in the computer and just craft pixels, right? Because you're all the time executing, and that's fine. But if you're aspiring to be an art director or have a leader position in your company, then you need to start making time out of your day to stand up and see how others are doing. And I learned this from a colleague back then in Media Monks. He was really good at this. He would stand up and go through the desks and start like looking at other people's work and say, hey, how are you doing? How's this project going? And he would care about what others were doing. So exercise, if you want to cure this, would be stand up and go through other people's desks and ask them how they are doing, and start getting used to thinking outside of your world, and exercise caring about how others are. Sign number 10. You rely on your project manager or boss to organize a project for you and your team. Now, this was something that I struggled with, because I thought that the project manager or my boss should be like the ones that organize the project. But when I started aspiring to be a leader myself, I started to learn how to organize a project myself. And whenever I saw something that needed to be done in terms of organizing the project, I took the initiative to do it. That way, when I got the role, I was already prepared and I knew how to organize a project, because I had experience in the past being a senior. So I really recommend doing that. Like, even if you're a junior here in a company, start organizing things. Like, start caring about how your boss organizes things. I would even go to the extent of writing down the things that my boss did or my project manager did that I really liked and that I felt that were really successful in organizing the project. I would take down notes and make sure that I learned those things that I really liked, and also, of course, also note the things that don't work. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this video was useful and it made you think, and it gave you ideas of how you can start stepping up in preparing for being an art director. If you have any other ideas, you can leave it down in the comments below, and if you have another opinion that is different from mine, feel free to leave it in the comment below. Let's have a conversation, and we're all learning here. And I will see you in the next video. Cheers.